Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. And in this video, we're going to talk about a goat, not an animal goat, but the greatest of all time, maybe. And, that's everybody gets labeled the goat these days. And right now, there is a Sherpa from Nepal who has just set the record with summiting Everest 27 times. So, that is just an absolute remarkable feat. This is a May 17th, 2023 article. This is May 17th, about 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm doing this. Here is this man, Kami Rita, and that is a picture of him. And he is the first person to summit Everest 27 times. So I don't know. I think maybe I would put him as, the goat of mountaineering. I mean, this is his job, but that is just remarkable. The guy right here is 53 years old. 53 years old. And just summited Everest for the 27th time. So that's been covered by a lot of places and very strong. Nepal Sherpa. That's a quote from somebody else. But he had some competition because a few days before he summited for the 27th time, a second Sherpa tied his record for the 26th time. So yeah, a fellow Nalpanese guide, and that guy is Pasang, Pasang Dawa, Dawa Sherpa. He reached the summit Sunday, and he tied the record at the time for 26 summits of Everest, and that's nothing to scoff at. But I'm sure his friend then was on the mountain a few days later, and Kami Rita retained the title for the 27th time. So let's just look at some of these articles here. Yeah, that's an American climber, Garrison Madison, who was with Kami Rita on 5 of his ascents. He told Reuters that very inspirational to see a local climber continuing to pushing the limits on Everest. And this ABC article continues with that, and it says that Garrett Madison has described him as a very strong climber. That's, I think, maybe an understatement. That's that's I think maybe this guy is definitely more than a very strong climber, and I'm very happy for him. If you read, he's right here on Wikipedia, the highest number to reach the summit, and he, it says down here that he grew up in a small village, living with his large family in a one-room home. And he says that, of when he was young, we were illiterate and poor, and there were no other means of survival back then. As a result, we were compelled to climb dangerous mountains to eke out a living, he told the journalist. And in 2018, he's living with his wife and his kids, and he has ensured his kids are getting an education to enable them to choose occupations that are less dangerous than guiding mountains. So yeah, his wife, of course, wishes her husband would retire. She says they could do other things, including, start a small business, but he doesn't listen to her. And but she confirmed that their children will not become mountain guides. I think I've seen some YouTube videos about this guy for a while there. I don't know, somehow I started watching some YouTube climb videos, and yeah, they were definitely talking about one Sherpa in particular, but he, like all these very, as he says, illiterate and poor people from these villages, this climbing sensation at Everest has brought those villages business from, lodging, meals, and trekking, and now he's a guide, and he gets 10,000 a climb, which that's big money in Napoleon money. So let me see here. So the general manager of the company he works for, Seven Summit Treks, told the news that he reached the summit of the world's tallest mountain around 8:30 a.m. local time on Wednesday. And this ABC article says that we're trying to get details, but for now it's 100% confirmed that Kami Rita scaled for the 27th time. And the company he works for said that he had dedicated his life to mountaineering and has become synonymous with the world's highest peak. I would say so. So it says that he scaled Everest for the first time in 1994. He has climbed it every year since then, except in 2014 and 15. In 2020, when climbing was halted for various reasons. And this NBC article has a picture of him on May 25th, 2019, after climbing Mount Everest twice in a week. Okay, so I bet you that's a record. I don't know if Sherpas go back twice in a week. But if we go down on his Wikipedia page here, it says um, right here, 2019, summited on May 15th. And then on May 21st, he summited again 6 days later. So yeah, as I say, I truly don't know if that's a record in itself, but that is just incredible. Twice in 6 days, this guy stood up top of the highest peak on Earth, and that's remarkable. Not just in that out of the 11,000 people they say that have climbed Everest, 320 of them have died making the trek, and a number of those have been Sherpas. And even this year's climbing season was slightly delayed after 3 Sherpa climbers fell into a deep crevasse on a treacherous section of the mountain in April, and rescuers have not been able to find them. And right here, this Fox article says that those climbers that died in April were in the Kumba Icefall along Everest. And the Kumba Icefall is coming right out of base camp. That is the first thing you go through when you're heading up the mountain. It's just right out of base camp. If you stand at base camp, you can see the Kumba Icefall, and yeah, it's very dangerous. And it's active, it's moving. These huge boulder-sized pieces of ice move, and yeah, these Sherpas do incredible work. They do incredibly dangerous work. So, just even surviving climbing Everest and having this be your profession and doing it for decades, and then summiting for 27 times. And he summits others peaks too, including K2 Choyu, CHO-OYU, Manaslu, and Lotes. So he's definitely out there in the mountains, and this man is, I don't know, the GOAT. I think that's safe to say. 27 times up Everest. So congratulations to this man, and let's hope he makes it down safely and continues to live a very happy and healthy life. But right now, he's holding the record. And this season, right here, this AP News article marks the 70th anniversary of the first descent of Mount Everest back in 1953 by New Zealander Edmund Hillary and his Sherpa guide Tenzing Norgay, so who is, obviously a very famous Sherpa himself, and I believe Edmund said, we reached it together, never stating that he stepped foot on top of Everest first. He's like, without Tenzing, I would have never gotten there. These Sherpas, every one of these climbers will tell you, are indispensable. I live in mountain towns out west with a bunch of manly men, mountain men, and I know people that have climbed Everest, and yes, they insist that their Sherpa guides are just phenomenal people, and they are just phenomenally skilled, especially when you get to right here. Here's a picture of the peak, especially when you get to, the level of Kami Rita. So, congratulations, Kami Rita, and stay tuned, people.